How's it going, Nostalgia Nuts? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing off some of my Star Tours / Star Wars Weekends customs. Now if you don't know what Star Wars Weekends was, well that was basically a mini convention that was held at Walt Disney World Hollywood Studios. They basically would have like special guests like Frank Oz, James Arnold Taylor who voices Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Clone Wars come. They do a big Star Wars parade. They would have all these like dance-offs. I think it was called the Star Wars Hoopla. It didn't take Star Wars so seriously and it was allowed to have a little bit more fun with it. There you could find Mickey Mouse as a Jedi Knight or Donald Duck as Darth Maul. And the coolest part about all of this was that they would even sell action figures based off of the hybrid characters in a place called Darth's Mall, which was practically a huge convention hall to find all of these amazing exclusives, which eventually they would sell at Disneyland in California where I live. I would find these guys every time I would exit off of Star Tours, and I'd have to get the newest one in the collection because I thought they were so dang cool. And since I relate these figures so much to Star Tours, I thought it only right to include my custom Starspeeder 1000, as well as my custom Captain Rex. The original Captain Rex, not this Captain Rex. And with that being said, let's get started. First off here we have Donald Duck as a Stormtrooper. Now I picked him for this particular Star Wars character because I thought the white in his fur really matched the suit as well as the tail kind of blending in that midsection so it doesn't look so out of place. This also happens to be the outfit that he would wear for meet and greets and photo ops. This also may be the easiest figure to make on this list as all you need is one Stormtrooper minifigure, which are pretty common, and you need the Donald Duck figure from the minifigure series. And even though he didn't actually have this in his park appearance, I thought it would be fun to include him holding the helmet, and by doing that I just put in one plain black head inside the helmet and attached it to his hand. Now for this next figure we have Stitch as Emperor Palpatine. Now this actually may be one of my favorites of the whole collection, as I personally loved Stitch as a character, and putting him with the Emperor Palpatine character really made for a fun look. He is actually based off of the toy that was released. I don't think they ever had Stitch as the Emperor walking around the park, but they did release him in many forms as a toy and in merchandise. And the one obvious change I had to make was the hood, as obviously there's no Lego hood piece that would fit Stitch, so I just opted out for it, and I decided to give him a black cape. Now this is a short black cape that I got from the Red Robin as seen in this picture, and I thought it gave him the best robe effect that I could, and I'm very happy with the end result. And as for the rest of his parts, I got the two electricity beams from Emperor Palpatine figure as well as the torso, and I got the short legs from the Micro Fighters Batman minifigure. And lastly for his hands, I decided to give him dark navy blue hands instead of the light blue that matched his face, as I thought it was a more accurate color to his claws in the movie, but honestly either hands would look good. And next up we have Minnie Mouse as Leia Organa. This is a super easy one as well, as I only took Leia's outfit from the Millennium Falcon set, gave her white hands to match Minnie's gloves, and I just got the mini head, which you can get from either the Castle set or the CMF minifigure series that was released back in 2016. I gave her a black blaster as her accessory, and I removed her bow in order to make it as close as possible. And obviously I could not give her the Leia hair. I mean, you could if you had some modeling skills and were able to sculpt a hair that would fit on Minnie, but I just opted out and I decided that she would look close enough without it. And this is the end result, and I am quite pleased with it. And the next one on our list is Daisy Duck as Asajj Ventress. Now, before you all attack me on the comments section, yes, I know her legs are inaccurate. I got her torso from a swap meet, so I only got that piece and I haven't been able to get the right legs yet. But with that being said, I gave her dark gray legs and a light gray middle section. And this actually happens to be the first character on this list that is an original hybrid. They have never released her as a toy or had her appear in this look in the parks. I just thought since the colors match up pretty well, it would be a fun one to include. And the only changes you would need to make to the Asajj Ventress figure is just to add Daisy's tail and her head, and there you have a Daisy Duck as Asajj Ventress. And next up on this list is Mr. Rex before he was a DJ and when he was still a captain. Now, this one might get a little controversial as I use some illegal customizing techniques, but honestly I am very happy with the overall result. Now for his mask, you can see that I painted his visor. I painted his visor with a shiny metallic blue acrylic paint, and I used a gray power miner helmet which I glued to those binocular pieces as you see in order to keep it in place and to make it all look as one complete head. And I would recommend using hot glue in case you want to take it off with pretty much no damage to the figure itself. For his neck and mouth piece, I used a golden piece that I found from the Lego Friends coffee maker. And I also gave him a few arms that are that light gray, mostly from droid parts and from Technic. And the fun thing about this one is that if you have some painting skills or just the right colored pieces, you could even turn this into a DJ Rex figure from Galaxy's Edge. And who knows, maybe I'll show that here on the channel. And next up is Jedi Mickey, and this one is one of my personal favorites, as this is one I actually owned a toy version of. Now for this figure, I actually got the normal standard Mickey figure that you can find in the CMF series, as well as the Disneyland Castle. And I gave him some white hands instead of the normal flesh hands that came with the Obi-Wan Kenobi robe that you see here. I thought it worked pretty well and matched his look in the park, and this is actually the one that he did wear during meet and greets. And though this might be one of the easiest ones, I would also have to say that this is the most accurate to how he did appear in the park. And for the exact set that I got the main body from was from the Mos Eisley Cantina set, which I believe was the second one to ever come out back in 2014. And next up on my list is something I wasn't going to initially include due to its crudity and being one of my first customs I ever built. Now this is my custom Starspeeder 1000 based off of the renovated Star Tours ride that happened back in 2011. Now you can see this is a very, very old model as it's covered in dust, and I really wish I would have added some door panels, but I made this just by using all of the white and red bricks that I had at my disposal. It didn't really look that cohesive as some bricks, as you can see, are yellowing, but even though it was one of my first, I can't complain, and I'm happy that I put a little section up there for R2-D2, and it even has some blasters on the sides as you can see, and though it's not perfect, it still looks pretty good on a shelf. And since they haven't made an actual set for this, even though I hope one day they do, still looks pretty good when you put Captain Rex and C-3PO right next to it. And I really just wanted to include this model as it fits all in around Star Tours and its theming, and who knows, maybe I will make the white and blue version someday. Nostalgia bonus! For today's bonus, I really wanted to express the whole point of this video, and that is fun. The whole point is that you can swap, and switch up these characters however you like. Disney Parks made tons of these hybrid characters in several different ways, such as Mickey as Anakin, Mickey Mouse as an X-Wing fighter pilot, and Donald Duck as Han Solo. But honestly, you can do so many other combinations and they'd all really work. Star Wars Weekends was a whole event based around not taking things too seriously, and just to have fun with something that already exists. So even though Star Wars Weekends doesn't happen anymore, you can still keep it going by bringing the fun every day. This has been Nostalgia News, and remember to be spontaneous, be creative, and to make your day great. Take care.